Oh man, look at this dude. 3 weeks ago? Wow, so lazy, so unmotivated. You know, there was a joke I wanted to make. It's like, look at this new region, the new mountain area, it's finally released. Look at these big bulls, Turos. Wow, they look so amazing with the snow effects. I bet it doesn't even snow in video anymore. That being said, hey, do you want to talk about Turos? It's been 1+ years since I actually visited this place, and I figured let me come back to it and see how this area performs these days. Way back when I did the first video on this area, it was before the Orzeka costume was even added, and let's just say I was grinding way slower. For reference, this is my gear back then, and I remember it was extremely challenging to grind this place. I did a lot of hours with Rapolas back then, and I got a flame, the 100 embers, for no reason whatsoever, because even to this day I still didn't use them. That being said, yeah, let's see the Turos revisited. First, let's take a look at the old results. October 2020, such a long time ago. I remember back then I was playing and having fun with Guardian Succession, if that's relevant. Looks like I had about 2.4, let's say 2.5 thousand trash per hour clearing speed on a blue loot scroll and a bunch of like 26 hours tracked. All in all, 100 something million silver per hour, 170 on Agris, so not amazing, definitely garbage by today's standards. So yeah, nowadays I play Corsair Succession with this gear on the screen and full tier for pets, and this was all done or grinded post the class reworks, so I do have the huge damage buffs on the mermaid skills. My partner for all 5 hours was a witch, so that might skew the numbers a little bit. The red orb is definitely broken for pulling and just in general back attacking in this area, and yeah, I suppose, how did those 5 hours go? Let's talk about that. For most of the hours, I believe 4 out of 5, we used this rotation in the background. I would highly recommend it. It seems to be the easiest one to do the pulls in and my favorite. I was told it's called the main rotation, it's probably not, but it's the easiest one to grind. Other than that, coming back here after so long and getting a bunch of gear improvements, especially in the DP section, it was funny to see how I can still die here. Turos still hit pretty hard if you're not paying attention, and apparently they still pretend that super armor doesn't exist sometimes. So that's something notable. It just hit me that new players might be watching this and they might be asking, how do you even do the pulls? How do you grind this place? I don't know. I guess just watch the background and figure it out. Honestly, the pulls here are a big question mark. Sometimes mobs will follow you peacefully, other times they will just forever stay at range. So this is just cancer grinding this place. I was reminded this very quickly in my first hour. The only mechanic I could really talk about is the boss, the Ulutuka, which spawns 3 elites. At first you kill those and then the boss. He seems to drop more Kafras than he used to. I don't think the Ember drop is guaranteed, 1 per boss, but it's a very high drop rate, and it seems to be between 1 and 3 bosses usually per hour. So yeah, do you want to take a look at Excel and look at some numbers? I will say out of my 5 hours, the only difference that I noticed compared to the old Turos is that now they drop the fangs, which are basically scrolls, and the Kafra stone drop rate was increased. Everything else I believe is kind of the same as it was in the past, like 1+ years ago. The only difference is now people grind a lot faster. At this point, I believe everyone knows exactly how to read this. The test was finished on January 5th, again, such a long time ago. Overall, if you are short on time, about 370-ish million silver per hour on blue plus Agris, or 320 something on just yellow loot scroll. I was able to average about 7.7 thousand trash per hour on, again, blue plus Agris, or about 5.1 thousand on yellow loot scroll. So that's my clearing speed with a witch in the party. In terms of bosses, this is a breakdown. I had 1 hour extremely RNG carried with 7 bosses. The other ones, as I said, between 1 and 3 per hour. And if you look at the Kafra stones, it definitely shows the hour with the 7 bosses dropped 48. The other ones kind of hovered around, let's say, 25 to 30. So that's kind of what you should expect. Embers wise, seems to be 3 or 4 per hour, with this hour 7. This is a picture with my loot from 5 hours. This one is just let's say reference for the scrolls to value the fangs. I did drop 1 Turos belt in my very last hour. I would say it's not 1 belt in 5 hours, it's probably a bit RNG carried, so do keep that in mind. And the last thing to point out, which you already have probably noticed, I did 4 out of my 5 hours on Agris with this second tower being the only one on just a yellow loot scroll, and this would be the estimation on blue plus Agris. I would say it's extremely efficient, around 25,000 Agris points per hour, so I highly recommend you to use those. This is the result. If you remember the Agris chart I had before, let's say this is the important number, 18,000. This, just remember this one for efficiency, and I will put on the screen now the Valencia and then the Elvia charts, just so you can get a reference for that efficiency number. It's really good. It's basically right in the middle in the Valencia chart, so it's not the best area in the game, but it's definitely worth it to burn Agris points. In terms of other notable things, as I said, I have this picture with my guildie running the Fang scrolls. I personally never did them yet after they were reworked, and it turns out this is kind of the value per each Fang. I did value them this way, despite, you have to use time to run the scrolls, to run these, but excluding the time spent, this would be kind of the value per Fang, and the embers, I consider the updated price where the flame is 2 billion silver, assuming you can actually sell it, because on EU it seems like they are sitting on the marketplace and people don't even buy them. And yeah, Caphras 30 per hour, 40 something dust per hour, as I said. Blackstones, around 200 of them per hour. Black magic crystals kind of inexistent for this place, and I believe that's pretty much it. Oh, I'm a genius, I forgot. Yeah, without the belt included, so assuming you don't drop any belts, this would be your money per hour value. So what is my conclusion for Turos? It's decent. It's not amazing, it's not garbage, it's literally just a very specific area. If you need a flame, if you need the Fallen God armor, I suppose grind this place. If you don't need a flame, then why would you bother? Just go somewhere else. The money per hour is, let's say, just a bit higher than Valencia, so it's definitely worth the time, but overall, if you don't need the flame, you already know the answer. You can just go to Elvia or some other place where you can make more money. I'm happy I got to revisit Turos, because I doubt I will come back here in the near future again. And in fact, if you're watching this, Rapolas, you're probably not, but sorry. I know we spent like 40 plus hours to grind for this flame, but it's been 1+ years. I don't think I will ever get to use it, so I just might as well sell it. And now there are 3 things left to do before I bid you farewell. The first one, 3 weeks later, if you didn't get a message, you know you didn't win the costume. Yeah, the giveaway, well, the 2 winners were selected, these are the winners. Let's just say I already gave them the costumes weeks ago, so might as well just, that's done and over with. The comments, I said I would pick my top 10 favorite comments. I'm sorry if your best moment was getting a pen black star with the hammers. I didn't get one, I'm salty, so you're not included. And yeah, to end on a good note and just have this as a happy ending, look at this. A Black Spirit plushie, because BDO never sent me one. I'm probably the only partner who doesn't have one, so my sister made one for me as a present. So isn't that nice? I will see you next time with a different area. Bye bye.